Hi guys, welcome to my second podcast. Within this podcast, I will be unpacking the myths, cliches and stereotypes around the topic of race. Race has been one of the most important areas of inquiry in the field of sport and mass media. However, are the media in general doing enough to combat this vile bigotry act? I, for one, think not. Raheem Sterling burst onto the football scene early in the 2015-16 season and has been a star player for a few years now. However, we regularly find that media focus is not on his football ability or performances, but on his personal life. The media speak about Sterling in particular very differently to how they would other Premier League superstars, calling him names such as footy idiot and troubled youth in the Sun. This is something I feel that a white player wouldn't have to endure. If we take a look at another example of potential racism in the tabloids, this one being around two Manchester City youngsters. In 2018, an article based around Phil Foden was titled "Manchester City Starlet buys new £2 million home for mum," whereas in another article written in the same year by the same newspaper, the Daily Mail, around a black player, Tosin Adebayaro, it was titled "Manchester City youngster 20 on £25,000 a week splashes out on a mansion on the market for £2.25 million despite never playing a Premier League match." This is a deliberate attempt from the press to make you look at the young black player in a different light to the young white one. Sterling himself made a comment on this particular incident, writing on his Instagram, "I think this is unacceptable. Both innocent have done not a thing wrong, but just by the way it has been worded, this young black kid is looked at in a bad light, which helps fuel racism and aggressive behaviour. So for all newspapers that don't understand why people are racist in this day and age, all I have to say is have a second thought about fair publicity and give all players an equal chance." However, this was not the end of the Sterling media storm, as later on in 2018, just before the World Cup, I feel that there was a deliberate story ran by the Sun newspaper to upset and degrade Sterling just before the tournament, even trying to get him banned for the gun tattoo on his leg, of which the stories were about. Sterling is not the only England international with a weapon tattooed on himself, as goalkeeper Jordan Pickford has a large knife tattooed on his left forearm. This, however, has been of no interest from the mainstream media. One potential argument for this is that the media is trying to portray Sterling in the stereotype that black people are associated with gangs and gun violence, and this is completely unacceptable. Stereotyping works by essentializing, reducing and neutralizing a very few traits of very few individuals. But even so, the tattoo didn't have anything to do with violence and was in fact a tribute to Sterling's father, who died when he was 2 to a gunshot. Sterling vowed not to touch a gun because of this incident, but the tabloids were so obsessed with the racist stereotype that they ignored this. So guys, I hope this has given you a bit more insight into the myths, cliches and stereotypes of an athlete's characteristics around the topic of race. The press, in my opinion, are clearly running stories on particular black players, and for society to progress, this obviously needs to be stamped out. If you guys enjoyed, don't forget to smash that like button and don't forget to subscribe.